First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Two local businesses were burglarized and it was caught on tape. The owners hope that you'll recognize the suspect and can help catch him. 10 on your side's Ariane Aramburo is live along Lavalette Avenue in Norfolk where it happened. Ariane, we understand the businesses are just a few feet apart.
That's right, we're here in front of Let's Go Pet Care in Au Jardin Brazilian Cafe, and you can see how close the businesses are to one another. You can even see that they're still boarded up from what happened earlier this week. Now, the businesses are open. The focus right now, though, is finding the man that did this.
This was right before he broke in and broke the windows.
For Erin Hutchko, watching video of her store getting broken into isn't easy.
We're very lucky that the cameras were the way they were, so we at least could see what happened.
Take a look at the surveillance video. You can see a man wearing a dark blue hoodie with the letters ODU on the front, scoping out the place.
He definitely watched when my last staff member left.
The man walks around for a few minutes and decides to leave, only to come back with a broken piece of concrete to bust out the glass. Once inside, he jumps over the counter looking for cash, but leaves with no luck.
He knew where the cameras were. You could tell the way he pulled his head down. I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing in here.
Then 5 hours later, he decides to come back, only this time he gets away with the register.
It's definitely a little disheartening, especially since we are a nonprofit. We're not a big money-making business.
But this wasn't the first time for a business in this area to get hit. Au Jardin Brazilian Cafe is literally right next door. Turns out they were targeted the night before.
Every little thing like this really sets us back, you know, small business owners, and we're struggling just like everybody else in the economies.
Both places are back in business. They just hope by posting surveillance video on the internet, someone will recognize this face.
This is a tight-knit community, and everybody here is very supportive of all of our small businesses, and I think that they don't want that happening in their neighborhoods to their friends.
I think someone just happened to pick us for whatever reason.
Now, between the two businesses, the man only got away with a couple of $100s, but take a look at this. One of the businesses that was burglarized actually has a printout of the surveillance video of this man. So if you're out there and you recognize this man or have any information on what happened, make sure that you call the crime line, and that number is 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP. We're live in Norfolk. I'm Ariane Aramburo, 10 on your side.
An escaped inmate is still on the loose. 10 on your side wanted to know how he got away. The Pasquotank County Sheriff's Office says 31-year-old Tracy Whidbey escaped from the back of a patrol car while being transferred from the jail. 10 on your side, Surrey Crow is back from Elizabeth City with details. Surrey?
Melanie, investigators spent all day looking for an escaped suspect who managed to free himself from his handcuffs and shove a sheriff's deputy to the ground before taking off. He hasn't been seen since. It was supposed to be a routine transfer from the Albemarle District Jail to the Magistrate's Office in Elizabeth City. But 31-year-old Tracy Fernandez Whidbey was facing a revoked bond. He was en route in the back of a deputy's patrol car to that hearing when he decided to take matters into his own hands. Any idea how he got out of the handcuffs? I understand he's very tall and very thin.
Yeah, he's tall and thin. I don't know where he's. Some people, you've got to be very careful, especially with thin people, and depending on their wrist, they can actually slip a handcuff over, depending on how your hands are.
Now free of the cuffs, they pulled up in front of the magistrate's office. When the deputy opened the patrol car door, that's when Whidbey pushed him to the ground and took off running down the street. According to Sheriff Cartwright, the deputy chased him before losing him behind a coffee house behind Colonial Street. He was still wearing his orange and white jailhouse jumpsuit. The fact that he was able to run is part of an internal investigation. The sheriff says the deputy did not follow proper transfer protocol. Now, from what I understand, the procedure is that he should have had foot shackles on as well.
Right. He should normally, as anybody we're transporting up to the courthouse or anything would have leg irons on, unless they had some type of medical disability or something, injury that would prevent us from putting leg shackles on them.
The deputy, whose identity Sheriff Cartwright would not reveal, is still on duty. But there is an internal investigation underway as to why protocol wasn't followed, allowing for Whidbey's escape.
Right now, our main thing is to get him back into custody and put him back into jail.
Now, the sheriff says Whidbey faces attempted robbery charges from a November arrest, and once back in custody, he'll face several more misdemeanor charges, including a larceny charge for stealing the handcuffs and jail jumpsuit. Melanie?
Once he's back in custody, the sheriff tells 10 on your side it's likely that would-be will be bonded out almost immediately. The man police say killed his girlfriend in North Carolina, then abandoned their 22-month-old daughter in Newport News is in police custody tonight. 23-year-old Alexander Zelaya turned himself in this morning in West Haven, Connecticut. Zelaya said that he was afraid officers would kill him because he left his daughter at what he thought was a truck stop, and that he had killed someone in North Carolina. Police found 22-year-old Miriam Reyes shot to death near her Fayetteville home. Detectives say Zelaya left the scene with his daughter. It was a delivery driver that found 22-month-old Juliana Reyes Tuesday morning at a shopping center on J. Clyde Morris Boulevard. She was alone, wearing only a T-shirt and a dirty diaper. Zelaya appeared in court today in Connecticut on first-degree murder charges. Virginia Beach police say a man shot an intruder in his home. It happened around 12:30 today on Bucknell Court in the College Park neighborhood. Police say the residents spotted the juvenile intruder going up the stairs, confronted him, then shot him. The homeowner was not hurt. The suspect who was shot briefly got away. We'll have more on this story tonight on WAVY News 10 at 6. Hampton police now say 2 suspects are in custody in connection with a shooting in a Walmart parking lot. Officers arrested David Andrews and Randall Woods yesterday morning after tracking them down at this Best Western Plus Coliseum Inn and Suites on Mercury Boulevard. Police are still trying to identify and arrest a 3rd suspect seen here in a surveillance photo from the Cunningham Drive Walmart. Detectives say a 28-year-old Hampton man was shot Tuesday night. He's in the hospital listed in good condition. Suffolk police said that they are searching for 3 suspects who held up a convenience store manager. It happened around 11:30 last night at the Harborview Easy Pick at Hampton Roads Parkway and Town Point Road. Detectives say the manager was at the dumpster when he was robbed of cash at gunpoint. We're on your side with a 10 time-saver traffic alert. There's a water main break at the Birchwood Mall Shopping Center in Virginia Beach. It happened around 11:30 this morning. 2 eastbound lanes on Virginia Beach Boulevard in front of McDonald's are closed while crews are making repairs. The Department of Public Utilities expects to have the problem fixed by 6 tonight. Decision 2012. One of the candidates in Virginia's Senate race is dropping out of the contest. Northern Virginia television production company owner Tim Donner says that most Republicans and the state party appear to support the frontrunner, George Allen, a former U.S. Senator and governor. Donner vowed to not go away. In addition to Allen, 3 other GOP candidates remain: Tea Party activist Jamie Radke, Hampton Roads Minister E.W. Jackson, and Virginia Beach attorney David McCormick. 3 Democrats, former Governor Tim Kaine, Fairfax consultant Courtney Lynch, and Reston businessman Julian Medica are competing for their party's nomination. Both parties will pick a nominee in the June 12th primaries. The number of people seeking unemployment benefits rose last week for the first time in a month. The Labor Department says weekly applications rose 15,000 to a seasonally adjusted 381,000. There are indications that hiring could pick up. Applications during the last month fell to a 3.5-year low. Every drop counts, and you can help by giving the gift of life. WAVY TV 10 is sponsoring the Every Drop Counts blood drive with the American Red Cross. You're taking a look at video of people donating today at Chesapeake Square Mall. The drive is today and tomorrow from 2 to 7 p.m., then Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Monday, January 2nd from 2 to 7 p.m. You can donate at Chesapeake Square, Greenbrier, Patrick Henry, or Pembroke Mall. All blood types are needed, but especially type O and type B. You'll find more information on the blood drive and giving the gift of life on wavy.com. Millions of dollars of federal money coming into Hampton Roads to help fight homelessness. How the money will be put to use is new at 5:30. And this is the time of year when a lot of smokers say they'll quit in the new year. We're on your side with help on how to keep that promise to yourself. But first, we'll introduce you to some special riders and let you know what's behind their rumble.
And a look at a beautiful, beautiful sunset. Throughout the area, we've had a few clouds in the afternoon. A little cooler today, but a big warm-up on the way. We'll tell you all about that in just a few minutes.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Libas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Honoring soldiers killed in action. That's the goal of the Patriot Guard Riders. NBC's Lonnie River has more on this special organization.
You hear them often before you see them. They're called the Patriot Guard Riders. They wear jackets adorned with badges. They also wear their hearts on their sleeves with tremendous respect for fallen heroes.
Every one of these runs, every one of them will get to you.
And on this motorcycle run, we caught up with Vietnam veterans Cole Kaiser and Steve Ellis. By the way, these two veterans just met.
We do services like for Sergeant Muniz here to honor their families.
I've done Patriot Guard rides in Wyoming. I've done some in North Carolina.
The Patriot Guard Riders organization grew out of protesters speaking out against wars.
And the word is out now, when we do one of these welcome homes, if there is any protesters there, we get between them and the family.
Kaiser says the riders consider themselves a buffer for the families of war heroes. Countless friendships are formed from each ride, and for Kaiser, it's personally moving and therapeutic.
When we come home from Vietnam, we got spit on, we got stuff thrown at us. These rides for a lot of us, where they welcome home, where they send guys off, these are our welcome home. This is something that touches us deep inside.
That was Lonnie River reporting. The Patriot Guard Riders say that they have about 300,000 members. They check a website to find out about upcoming memorials that they can take part in. And they also participate in welcome home ceremonies for war heroes. Colorado residents say a driver on a rampage turned their neighborhood into a war zone.
He was coming full speed ahead in the parking lane of the subdivision, and I watched him ram into the back of my car and drive off.
We'll show you the collision caught on camera. But first, help kicking the habit. We're on your side with ways to quit smoking and how you can learn from an unsuccessful attempt.
My name is Specialist Danielle Jones Brownings, currently stationed in Kandahar, Afghanistan. I would like to say happy holidays and Merry Christmas to my family in Hampton, Virginia. I love y'all, I miss y'all, and I'll see you soon.
Quit smoking often tops the list of New Year's resolutions. NBC's Erica Edwards has suggestions on how to kick the habit and explains why initially failing isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Resolve to quit smoking this weekend, and you're more likely to succeed if you accept the fact that you're likely to fail.
It's really important not to just quit at New Year's. If you try at New Year's and by January 7th you're smoking again, just try again.
Former smoker Dr. Cheryl Healton is president of the American Legacy Foundation, a group dedicated to helping people quit smoking. She says failures can become learning experiences, allowing you to see what and even who triggers you to reach for a cigarette. Write down a few healthy distractions like exercising or calling a friend when you feel the urge to light up.
Let those that you love know that you intend to do this. Sometimes they will welcome it, sometimes they will be derisive. If they are unkind, make sure you find yourself a real support group.
Going cold turkey is nearly impossible for many long-term and heavy smokers. They may need behavioral counseling, medication, or nicotine replacement products. The main message from the experts on becoming an X is to make your resolution over and over again.
Don't just do it once a year, do it as often as you humanly can.
Not just in the new year, but possibly every year. Erica Edwards, NBC News.
Last year, nearly 70% of adult smokers said that they wanted to stop smoking, and more than half attempted to quit. Eating well could help your brain stay healthy and sharp. Researchers at Oregon Health and Science University studied more than 100 elderly adults by checking nutrients in their blood and giving them memory and thinking tests. They found that those with diets high in omega-3 fatty acids and vitamins B, C, D, and E had higher scores on the mental thinking tests. People with lots of trans fat in their diet and lower scores were more likely to experience brain shrinkage. Researchers caution that more studies are needed. Rain and high winds made a wet mess of the Oregon coast. As the rain poured down, waves crashed onto the shore. Some of the water shot up between boulders. The beaches were mostly empty, but a few people braved the weather to watch Mother Nature in action. And watching our weather in action, of course, is meteorologist Don Slater, who's in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center. I'm pretty psyched. He told me to put away my winter coat. Won't need it tomorrow.
Yeah, but the thing about it, no, you won't. You really won't. You might need it in the morning if you're out early in the morning. But the thing about it is you show that action in Oregon. By about Monday, that cold front that's affecting Oregon and the northwestern part of the United States is going to start moving into our part of the world. We'll see some very, very big changes in the other direction. Tomorrow we're going to see a significant warm-up, but temperatures are really going to cool down first part of next week. Lots and lots of big changes ahead. First changes that we're going to see is the fact that we've got a little cool air over the area right now, but there's all kinds of warmer air out there ahead of that storm that's way out off toward the Pacific Northwest, and that's going to lift some of that air northward into our area coming up for tomorrow and the weekend. Kids are off school through this weekend. They've got this week off, and we're going to see a nice warm weekend coming up with temperatures, high temperatures near 60 coming up over the next 3 days. In fact, could even be warmer than that on Sunday. Right now, though, we've got a little cloud cover over the area. That cloud cover will tend to fall apart or move off during the evening hours, and it'll be definitely warmer coming up for tomorrow. There's that thin cloud cover through the area right now. We're seeing a beautiful, beautiful sunset, and by 9 o'clock, the cloud cover should be, for the most part, gone. Light southerly wind during the overnight hours, becoming more southwesterly by tomorrow morning at 7. Lots of sunshine for the day tomorrow. Southwest winds 10 to 15. Again, warming on up to around 60 degrees for tomorrow. Gorgeous day. Here's where things are by the end of the day. A light southerly wind. Tomorrow night, we're going to see a little reinforcing shot of air move on into the area, and that will give us some cloud cover, much like what we had during the day today. And it'll cool things off a couple of degrees for Saturday, but still, it's going to be real, real close to 60. Gorgeous sunset out there right now, and right now through the area, we've got mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the upper 40s to around the 50-degree mark, 50 in Norfolk, 47 at the beach and into Newport News, 44 already, though, in Hampton, 48 in Chesapeake and Suffolk. Very chilly last night. Highs today, we expected 53. We got 52 so far into the area, so pretty close to normal, or even slightly above normal. 49 is normal throughout the area for a high temperature for this time of year. So temperatures upper 40s right now. Last night, we dropped on down into the mid to upper 20s. Very, very cold overnight. Tomorrow, or to be overnight, we're looking at temperatures to be a little bit better. 34, 35, 41 for the south side. 33 to around 38, 39 degrees. We'll see clearing skies a little bit later on this evening. 35 to 38 for the peninsula, and for the middle peninsula, northern neck, eastern shore, basically into the mid-30s for an overnight low. 61 tomorrow, 59 degrees coming up on Saturday. Yahoo! First day of the year, 65. And then as the kids head back to school, 48. It's going to cool off a little bit, and then it'll cool off a whole lot coming up by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Do you do what your GPS tells you to do? A Virginia woman says following the directions caused a deadly crash. We'll let you know what happened. Plus, police in Northern Virginia say female shoppers can rest easy tonight. Why they say the so-called butt slasher is no longer a threat. A Richmond woman says she listened to her GPS and caused a deadly crash. It happened in Pamplin, Virginia, west of Farmville. The driver says when she approached an intersection, her GPS told her to make a left turn instead of crossing the median. It was dark, and a few minutes later, she met another car head-on. You can see some of the wreckage there. A 22-year-old man died in the crash. People who live near the scene of the accident are worried that there could be more. They say out-of-town drivers get confused going from 2 lanes to a 4-lane highway.
And I've seen tractor trailers go up that way.
They'll get part of the way up, and they'll stop, they'll pull over, and then they'll turn around and go back.
I've seen automobiles go up that way.
VDOT conducted studies at the intersection and determined it was clearly marked. State police say they have not heard any other complaints of GPS instructing drivers to turn the wrong way. Road rage caught on tape in Colorado.
He was coming full speed ahead in the parking lane of the subdivision, and I watched him ram into the back of my car and drive off. He did a U-turn in front of my neighbors and he came back, U-turned again and rammed my car intentionally.
The victim's Dodge Intrepid was hit with enough force to shove it forward nearly 2 parking spaces. Police say the suspect plowed into at least 5 cars in the same subdivision. After one of the victims got his license number, officers later arrested 40-year-old Carlos Ayala and charged him with criminal mischief and resisting arrest. Police say he was driving on several flat tires and a bare rim. They don't know what prompted the rampage. Jumping forward in time, we'll tell you what nation is losing a day and why.
You'll be doing everything from, making the donuts and bagels to cleaning floors.
But this Virginia bagel shop could be yours for just $100. We'll explain this bargain business deal at 5:30. There will be no Friday, December 30th, 2011 in Samoa. Tomorrow will actually be the day after tomorrow in the small Pacific Island nation. At the stroke of midnight, Samoa is crossing the international date line to make business deals with large trading partners Australia and New Zealand easier.
If it's really urgent, we have to come in on Sunday, right? But otherwise, we have to wait till we come in on Monday, which is really Tuesday.
Sounds a little confusing. Workers have been told they'll get paid for their lost time.
People are not happy about Samoa being the last place, Samoa not being the last place to see the sunset. Let's change our attitude. Samoa will be the first place to see the sunrise.
It's a nice positive way to look at it. Samoa will be the first nation to celebrate the new year. There's another positive.